Hi, YouTube, it's Aquila, obviously, and I'm suing a grown man who goes by the name Sargon. You probably heard about it because it's a public lawsuit, and it's sort of coming on the heels of this huge videos. You can't just change the name of something and then re-upload the content. And that's basically what this Sargon guy did. You know, I can't Titanic and put four different scenes together and then call it on a boat and act like I created it.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and quietly there was another massive fair use victory that kind of went under the radar. Now, I'm sure that it's because many in the mainstream media do not like the person who won this case, but it is important that we continue to spread this news around. So I hope that at some point in this video, you'll leave a like and a comment on the video and consider sharing it on Twitter or Facebook or Reddit or Minds or whatever you use, because other YouTubers need to have the confidence to fight against these copyright trolls. And just like H3H3 did with Matt Haas, Sargon of Akkad did with Aquila. That's right. You may have forgotten because this thing had drug out for, I think, almost 3 years by now. But yesterday we received some final updates and it was a complete victory. Another important piece of precedence in the fair use battle. I want to say, first and foremost, obviously Carl is a friend of mine, but I'd be making this video for anybody who decides to stand up tall and fight against fair use abuse. I want to say thanks to Carl for going through this. Thanks to everyone who backed his legal case, because as someone who went through a lawsuit, they are very expensive, and which works against and for these copyright trolls, the people that would abuse fair use, because they know you're probably not going to sue, or you're not going to defend yourself. In the case of H3H3 and now Sargon of Akkad, they chose to stand and fight, and because of that, every single YouTuber benefits. So thank you everyone who backed him, and thank you, Carl, for taking the time to fight what was probably a complicated suit, given that you're in the UK and she was in New York, I believe. Very few people are covering this, but you can look at, for example, Reclaim the Net, saying, judge rules in favor of Carl Benjamin over Aquila in the, quote, SJW levels of awareness YouTube video. The judge ruled that the video easily met all 4 standards of fair use. And I've got the actual court docs too. We can take a look at that. We can leave that to guys like Nick Ricada to kind of understand it, because I'm not a lawyer. The article starts out, it's almost election time once again in the United States, but one legal controversy that arose in 2016 after the presidential ballot's aftermath as it played out on social media among 2 YouTube creators. It just got its court outcome now. Fair use under US copyright law, such as it is a tough nut to crack, even at the best of times. It allows for limited use of copyrighted content without permission if the purpose is to provide commentary, criticism, or parody. I mean, quite honestly, this is exactly what, for example, movie reviewers use. This is why we get news agencies that are able to play clips. Fair use is very, very important and must be protected. The article continues. It took nearly 3 years for a federal court in Manhattan to rule to dismiss a copyright infringement suit brought by Hughes. That's Aquila Hughes, a US YouTuber against Benjamin, a UK YouTuber. But using the giant video platform to promote their political and ideological messages or businesses where similarities between the two seems to end. Sure, who cares if they're different people, right? In the ruling, Judge Richard Sullivan states that Hughes maintains a YouTube channel called Aquila, obviously, that covers topics such as comedy, race, social commentary, feminism, beauty, and fashion, whereas Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad, is an anti-ideological and anti-identitarian, focusing on the left, feminism, BLM, stuff like that. I should mention that Carl does more often now upload to a channel called Akkad Daily, which I'll link in the description below. In the ruling, they also, and the 2 consent creating, and these two, content creating and real world realities, clashed hard after Clinton's defeat in 2016. Hughes' video consisted of footage she filmed at the election party in New York City and her commentary in the wake of the defeat. Benjamin responded to the video with one of his own, about 5 times shorter, entitled SJW Levels of Awareness, consisting entirely of a number of cut clips edited from the original work posted by Hughes. What ensued was an exchange of accusations, insults on Twitter, and a feud that Benjamin documents with a series of screenshots and a video he has now posted announcing the victory in his legal case. During the 2017 exchange, Hughes refers to Benjamin as a white supreme, announces she would sue for copyright infringement, and makes a veiled threat that his Patreon account might become banned. In fact, she kind of said in the tweet, if I remember correctly, it said something along the lines of, somebody reported his Patreon.
I imagine if he has a Patreon that isn't long for this world, it'll likely go the way Sargon's did after someone reported his hate content. Well, I wonder who that someone was, Akila. It kind of sounds like you're admitting that you're the one who's reported my Patreon.
It was Akila, which doesn't make a lot of sense because she was going to get all of that money. In fact, the original lawsuit was for $150,000, if I remember correctly, over a single video. Then, once it appeared that Akila was definitely going to lose, she tried to snivel and reduce her offer to just only $50K, to which it was too late. Carl was already pot committed, the suit went on, and she lost. If you look at some of the tweets that I'm showing you, you can see apparently the guy I'm suing for copyright infringement, who harassed me for months afterwards, is running for alt-right office in the UK. Or, hey, I'm suing that dude from YouTube that just re-uploaded my video with no commentary, also drinking his Pepe tears. Awfully confident there, aren't you, Akila? I hope that, her Twitter's been suspiciously quiet since she lost this case. She'll probably come out with a video and say that because the judge was male, it was a patriarchy type thing, keeping her down, a POC, and not just the facts of the suit. And if you go back and you look at the H3H3 case, it's very similar. Although, see, with Sargon, his commentary was put forth in the editing of contradictory statements put forth by Akila. A little less easy to discern than, say, H3H3, where they're showing the video but also giving actual commentary. Neither is no less fair use, but the nuance is there. And if you look at this article from TechCrunch, judge sides with YouTubers Ethan and Hila Klein in copyright suit. Ethan and Hila Klein, the husband and wife team behind the popular H3H3 YouTube channel, which doesn't exist anymore, it's just a podcast, appear to have won their legal battle against Matt Haas, a.k.a. Matt Haas, or Bold Guy.
Good job, Hila.
Good job.
A New York judge ruled, issuing a summary judgment in favor of the clients. By the way, this cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend. According to Ethan, I believe, they ran out of money, and the clients had raised more than $170,000 in their legal defense fund, which is insane. But again, for all my criticisms of Ethan Klein, this was very important. He did this for the entire YouTube community, and I don't care that it was crowdfunded, because after going through a suit myself, it is extraordinarily bothersome. Daily stress where you have to expose your financial records and you've got to go, it is a nightmare outside of the money. So the fact that Ethan and Hila stood up and fought for fair use will always curry favor with me, regardless of some of Ethan's hot takes that I don't exactly love. Haas was suing the clients last year after they posted a reaction video mocking him. His initial suit focused on less of than the criticism per se, and alleged that the clients had infringed on his copyright by featuring clips of one of his videos in their criticism. They defended their use of the footage as fair use, and another YouTube creator, Philip DeFranco, raised more than $170,000 for their legal defense. DeFranco wrote, "If they are bullied and drained of funds because of this ridiculous lawsuit or they lose this case, it could set a terrible precedent for creators." Again, this is exactly my take on it too. I don't care what anyone's personal opinion is on the creator, whether it's the Kleins or Sargon, you know, it doesn't matter. These are people that stood up and put forth an effort to defend fair use, and it makes life easier on the rest of us. Every one of these cases that get won by YouTubers get thrown on the pile so that the next YouTuber who has to defend themselves against this type of thing has all of this precedent.
Here the judge says in a footnote, which I think is really important and meaningful, that Klein's video is arguably part of a large genre of YouTube videos commonly known as reaction videos. Videos within this genre vary widely in terms of purpose, structure, and the extent to which they rely on potentially copyrighted material. Some reaction videos, like the Klein's video, intersperse short segments of another's work with criticism and commentary, while others are more akin to a group viewing session without commentary. Accordingly, the court is not ruling here that all reaction videos constitute fair use, which I think is a great distinction, because us who do it well and who respect fair use, we hate these shitty Jinx styles reaction videos.
That's the complexities of modern age with technology and videos and YouTube and social media. Most of your judges probably still have AOL. And to get them to understand the complexities of this could lead to you losing a case simply because they just don't understand the nuance. But the more precedent that we can point them to, the better chance that they're going to look at it and say, oh, both of these people make videos. This was a reaction video just like this other video. Oh, this was a cut-up commentary video just like the other video. Case dismissed. And it's also going to serve as a strong message to people who would try to bully content creators against creating content critical of them. They're going to think twice. They're going to look at the tens of thousands of dollars Aquila lost. They're going to look at the hundreds of thousands of dollars that Matt Haas likely lost pursuing a case in which they ultimately took the L, and they're going to think twice before placing these BS copyright claims on YouTube creators. A absolute huge congratulations to Carl. Just like I offered to Ethan back then, this is a big deal, and other creators should look at this and say, you know what? Next time some other person is trying to bully me with copyright strikes or DMCAs, I'm going to reply to them, I'm going to refute it, and I'm also going to cite in my refutal. That's what I do. When I get them, I'll say, hey, look, I'll take this to court, and I'm going to use H3H3's case to defend it, and now I'll be able to say I'll be able to use Carl's case to defend it. You better think twice before pursuing this strike. Congratulations on the victory. Congratulations to fans on fair use. How about a good video for once? Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Guys, we did it.